Well, today I want to do a review on this Extrema ratio knife. Alright, you can see on the back there, of course made in Italy. This is one solid piece of N690 bowler. Alright, so that is our blade steel as well as our handle. It's just one milled piece of metal. This is the N.K.1, is the model number. And you can see I have my name on here, which I'll talk about in a second. But anyway, interesting little neck knife. I carried this for about 2 weeks or so, and then I swapped out for some other neck knives. But I did do a little bit of additional cutting, some paracord and some cardboard as well, just to get a better feel for the edge. Bowler N690 is pretty good, very decent steel. I've had good experience with it in the past. Blade shape it's small. I mean, neck knives are generally small, but we have a lot more handle to blade ratio, which is actually pretty good because you get a lot of control on it because you do have a big handle to hold on to, but it is a small blade. There's a little thumb notch cut out on the top of the spine there. It's very comfortable to rest your thumb there, as well as you saw before. You can use your pointer finger if you want to get in and do some fine detail cutting. Huge lanyard hole on this, as you can see. So if you want to put a lanyard on here, you can fit anything through there. You can probably put boat anchor rope through there. But yeah, interesting little design. I do like the knife a lot. The N690 is great, like I said before. It is a little bit more on the expensive side, being made in Italy. The Extrema ratio knives they tend to be a little bit more expensive. Definitely a fan base out there for these types of knives. I like it. I think it was pretty cool. This one came from the website. If you order directly from the website, you get free laser engraving as well as a diamond sharpener, which I'll show you in a second. But that's what this is, that's why it has my name on there. So I wanted to try that free laser engraving out. And I goofed, and when I sent it, I had a space in my name, and that's why it's on there with a space. And I contacted them, I let them know about that, and they said you can send it back if you want. I thought, it seems like kind of a waste. I don't know if they were going to scrap the knife or just, I don't know, grind it off. I really had no idea, so I said, it's fine, it's whatever. But that's why there was a space there, and my name is in 2 words, so it's my mistake. But I still like it. I like it a lot. And it's cool because every now and again I will customize a knife and it kind of makes me keep it. You know what I mean? Because I have a constant flow of trading and I regret, knives going off. And this is one of those knives that I kind of had more interest as a little collectible. Not something I'm going to use super hard or trade off in the future. I did have plans to keep this because I do like the design. So that's why I put my name on there. And that's what I'm going to do after this review. I'm just going to go into the personal collection. So here's the diamond sharpener you get for free if you order through the site. So it just has their logo and website on there. All right. Pretty interesting. The back has instructions in English as well as Italian. Showing you this 20-degree angle and basically use it wet, right? Water or gun oil. So pretty cool. Nice little freebie. The price on this knife, if you get it directly through the website, it's in euro. I think it comes out to about $130 US. But if you also look like on Amazon, it still ranges between 130 and 145, depending on if you want the stonewash finish or if you do want the black coated one. The stonewash on this is actually, it's a pretty fine stonewash. So like some stonewash has a bigger pattern to it, if that makes any sense. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. But this, at first glance, it doesn't look like it's stonewash finish. It just looks like it has some kind of a satin finish on it. But when you look closely, you could tell that it is stonewashed. Okay, but interesting. All right, this is kind of this cutout here for the finger choil. It's not really a choil, so to speak, but there is a cutout there. It's pretty constant theme on these Extrema ratio knives. So most of the models, if not all of them, have that, and that's what makes it stand out. Like when you see these types of knives from this company, you know them immediately. Just like that, because they all have the same same theme going on with the design. So to go over a couple specs here, it's 5 inches overall with a 1.85 inch blade. Again, that's the Bowler N690, is Rockwell to 60. Came razor sharp, and after just a couple uses on the strop, it still maintained a very sharp edge. As far as the weight on here, 2.1 ounces. I do like the sheath system, which we'll talk about in a second here. It does carry very nicely, so it doesn't feel like it's there really. I'm so used to carrying neck knives to begin with, but it is on the light side, which is nice. The only downside to this knife, and the major reason why I stopped carrying it, is just too smooth. Smooth sounds good, right? You want your knife to be smooth. It's very comfortable, but there's just no grip at all. This is the one of very few times where I'm going to say that I prefer to have some jimping on here. If it's not in this little, thumb rest here, maybe on the back of the handle right here. So if I want to hold it in a more natural grip, I would have a little bit more grip here with some jimping. That's one thing I would actually like on this knife. Just being all metal and so smooth, it's just slippery. That's it. And I'm talking with dry hands. If my hands were wet, I haven't used this with any kind of moist hands or anything, but I would imagine you would have no grip at all. Even with in a dry hand situation, perfect scenario, I feel like it's going to slip. It hasn't slipped or anything, but it just has that feeling, I don't feel confident in using it. And that's why I stopped carrying it after about 2 weeks. It'd be cool if they offered some aftermarket scales for this. I mean, because you have such a large lanyard hole here, they can probably make something where the scales snap together, you know what I mean? So that'd be kind of a cool additive, or because it's so large here, you could probably put 2 scales that fit perfectly on here, and then just that 1 screw would probably be enough to hold it on there. But yeah, I mean, it's too small to do any kind of like paracord wrap or anything, so I'm not gonna bother with that. But yeah, that's my biggest gripe, or the biggest negative to this knife, or downside, I'd say, is it just lacks grip. If you're one of those people that love aggressive G10 and all that jimping and all that stuff, this is definitely not the one for you. That's the only reason why I stopped carrying it, really. Other than that, it's a great little knife. I do like it. The price being 130 bucks, that's on the low end. Like I said, they go up to about 145, depending on where you're gonna get it, and depending on whether you want, black coated one or not. It is pricey. It's definitely pricey, but all the Extrema ratio knives are more expensive. I do like the fact that the logo is on the back here. It keeps it kind of sterile. In this case, it doesn't matter because I got my name engraved on there. But I do like when companies do that. Just a little bit different. On the back here, this is the just serial number, which I could do without. It kind of takes away from the design a little bit. But yeah, I mean, not a whole lot to this knife. Pretty much it. I do like the sheath system. Well, it looks like a little extra sheath. A big proponent of doing a small sheath, right? Especially for a neck knife. If the blade's this big, it seems like there's too much material around here. But I have to say, especially on the back, that was my initial impression is like, oh, they could have like notched this out and made it a little bit more refined or whatever. But I get it. They want a nice big flat surface. So when this is pushed against the chest, it's very comfortable. There's no sharp edges or anything. So I think that's very purposeful. Yeah, but I mean, it has great retention. It slips out very easily. It almost feels like it's gonna fall out, right? Because it comes out and in so easily, but it's not. And if I hold this paracord here, I hold just the sheath, you can see this thing is not coming out. No matter how hard you try to fling it out, it's a little deceiving. Like I said, I mean, it comes in and out so easily, you really think that it's not retaining it very well. And the first 2 days that I carried this, I was kind of worried about it falling out. I kept checking it and making sure it was in there. But yeah, so really smooth in and out, but it's definitely retained, which is nice. And of course I did my little, double knot there, so I have an adjustable, neck piece for this. And of course you could set this up any way you want as far as, having it in a neck knife configuration. Generally speaking, when you're carrying a neck knife, the further apart these are, the more stable it is from twisting. But I didn't find that I had any problems with the twisting, even using these top, grommets here. And speaking of these grommets, they do sell, it doesn't come with this knife, but they sell as an accessory 2 different sheath mounting options if you want to do belt carry or something like that. However, I did check, and a standard tech lock does fit on these grommets. So if you wanted to use a tech lock for this to, instead of buying their proprietary, system, you can certainly do so. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty damn cool. It is on the expensive side. Like I said, for me, especially since I have my name on it now, it will be one of my collectible knives, just throwing the old collection there. I don't know how much more use I'll get on it, but I mean, it's classy, it's super nice. It's just, as far as functionality there, without that grip, it doesn't make me feel confident. When I carry a knife and use it all the time, I want to be confident that I'm not gonna, have any problems with it. So that's the only reason why, I stopped carrying this thing. It's really unfortunate. So I love to see them in the future come up with some kind of, scale system. Or, I mean, I like the design. Even if you just did another version with some scales on it, that'd be cool too. Or even just if they drilled another hole and did some kind of paracord wrap from factory. Although I really don't prefer paracord wraps, I definitely would much prefer a scale system on a knife as opposed to the wraps. The wraps to me always seem cheap. Sometimes they're comfortable, sometimes they're not. But yeah, I mean, it's super cheap as opposed to some G10 or carbon fiber or something like that. But yeah. Pretty interesting though. So there you go. That's the Extrema ratio N.K.1. I like it, but not enough to keep carrying it. So here's one more shot before I go. It's really just like a little scalpel, you know. Very cool little knife. I love the one solid piece of metal idea, and the milling work's done very nicely. It is finished very nicely. Just doesn't have that grip I'm looking for, you know. So without that confidence in using the knife, I just can't use it. So it's going right into the collection. So anyway, last note on the sharpener and the engraving. Obviously, like I said, it's free. They're nice little bonuses if you order direct from the website. The prices are comparable. It's in the euro, but I think it works out to be about the same price, around the 130 US mark. But the big advantage, obviously, is being located in Italy. If you live outside the US, it might be easier to order from the website to your country, as opposed to ordering through Amazon US or something of that nature. So it's going to benefit people who live outside the US more than everyone else. But if you want the freebies and you live in the States, you can certainly order direct from the website as well. But that's it. If you guys happen to have the Extrema ratio N.K.1, let me know what you think of it. If you have the same issue with the lack of grip, but that's really the only negative. Other than that, it's a very cool little piece of cutlery. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you soon. Take care.